Jennifer Lucas with the Franchising Company, back for another Zor Zoom episode. Today we're going to be featuring the Shutter House. And so as we dive a little bit deeper into what they have to offer, if you'd like to learn more, click the link below, find out if your territory is available, and then we can talk through some next steps.
And before we dive in with Ed, just some points, a little bit of a teaser. First of all, this is the only brand in this space that is doing exactly what they're doing. So it's very niche. You can hire subs, you can hire W-2s. It's low royalty, 5% royalty, under 100,000 investment all in, no inventory. Home-based. There's so many great options or great aspects of the Shutter House. So meet Ed. Ed, tell us a little bit about yourself and give us some good stuff about the Shutter House. You go.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me today. 30 years ago, I was in manufacturing, and we made exterior and interior wood shutters. I rode with reps all over the country and was constantly asked for other materials and other options, to which I had to say, no, we don't do that. 25 years ago, I decided that I would find a solution, and so I started a distribution company. I gathered various factories, and we started producing all of those products that we were having to say no to. And so over the course of 25 years, we built a network of over 15 production facilities and distribution warehouses. And today we don't have to say no. We have every single type of material that exterior shutter products can be made out of. We also have storm protection. We have functional shutters. We have fixed decorative shutters, and we're the only company in the country that does that. And so we're a total solution for exterior window shutters and we do everything inside the home as well. So we have shades for inside the house. We have shutters. We have blinds. We do motorization. We do projects where we do both exterior and interior for that customer, and both are motorized, and they communicate through a Tahoma hub. And so it's really cool stuff. So whether it's outside the home or inside the home, we have a solution for everybody. And so 5 years ago, we decided that we would franchise, and that way we could set up a network of independent owners all over the country that could take it a step further and provide the measuring, in-home consultation, and the installation as well. So that's what the Shutter House is. It's basically measuring and installation, home-based service that is missing today in the market.
No, I love that. I'm a huge fan of all things home services. There's just so many different opportunities within it, and I think that you guys are bringing a unique product to the market. It's not something that we've seen from other franchises, so I think that that's really great.
Tell us a little bit about the model. So I know home base, but you do need a small warehouse space. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it's a home-based business, and normally you'll receive a contact from a customer in your local area, and they'll let you know they're looking for interior, they're looking for exterior. We have sample kits that the owner takes to the house once he knows which product it is that they're interested in. And then most of the customers are going to want you to come to their house, or they're going to want an in-home consultation. It may be a builder you're meeting with, so we do B2B and B2C. But whoever the client is, most of the time you're going to meet them on site, because you're going to have to do measuring. So you're going to show them samples. You're going to talk to them about what their various options are material-wise. They're going to tell you what they're trying to achieve. and then you're going to provide them with pricing. And most of the time we're providing them with multiple options on pricing. We're laying it out and saying, here, based on what you told me, here are what your various options are. And they're not getting that from anybody else. So we have a high close rate because when we go out, they realize that they've seen everything from one person.
No, that's fantastic. And so you talked a little bit about this being kind of a B2B and B2C play. What are some of those referral sources that you want to kind of go out and create? So contractors, builders, are there any others that you're targeting?
Oh yeah, realtors as well. So anybody who touches that customer. So on the home side or on the exterior and the interior side, we're dealing with homeowners. On the exterior side, we're dealing with a lot of builders and architects that are speccing in these exterior shutter packages. We're also dealing with realtors. Realtors give us referrals. People who are buying or selling their house, one of the first things they do when they're selling their house is they can change the exterior shutter package, which helps their house sell over their neighbor's house. But when they buy their house, they do the same thing. They put a personalized touch, whether it's inside the house or outside the house. So we like to network with realtors. But in addition to those leads, we get leads from our distribution company. So I'm constantly sending leads to our current locations that are coming into the distribution company that we've had for 25 years. And once we have someone in a territory, we send those leads to them because those are now their customers to work. And we want them to build that relationship with them. In addition to that, our suppliers and our facilities, they're looking to sell their product through places that are well trained and that are going to give the full retail experience. And since we're the only one on the exterior side, we get those leads as well. And they have outside sales reps working for those factories that make the connections and work with our locations to ensure their product gets sold and that it gets handled properly. And currently on the exterior side, a lot of that distribution is happening through lumber yards or distributors that do not provide installation services. They don't even provide measuring services. And so we're filling a void. And since the factories know that we're filling that void, they work through our locations to try to produce more sales.
That is genius. So not only do you not have supply issues, but you also have an influx of leads coming in that actually want your product that you can turn over to your franchisees. I think that's great.
Yeah, I mean, a franchise location needs to understand. I mean, they're going to have to do networking, right? I mean, it's their business. They've got to run their business. They've got to do networking. But it is nice that you have some leads that are coming in that you didn't have to spend any money on. No advertising dollars went to it. And yet you're still getting referrals and business that, maybe you didn't even uncover that lead, but the lead just came to you to work.
Yeah, and then talk to us a little bit about lead generation. So outside of referrals, where else and how else, I guess, are your franchise owners driving leads to their business?
Well, we do what most businesses do, but we do rely on social media. So Facebook and Instagram to kind of get the word out and do some branding and brand recognition. We also have geo-targeting campaigns that they will enact in that they can use various demographics from those geo-targeting to go specifically and to show up on apps like YouTube with local commercials. We have long commercials and short commercials, and that generates a lot of brand recognition for us as well. We do Google ads, but we also, when somebody comes in, we work with a Google specialist to place them at the top of Google. So they're not necessarily paying for all of the exposure that they're getting through Google and online through other directories. We do that for them and set that up for them, but they can do Google Pay ads in addition to that. We also have mailers. We have mailers for each one of the different products that we offer. And those mailers are already developed and available to them. We have a printing house that handles those and will keep those inventoried for them, and they can send them addresses of builders and homeowners that they're looking to target with those postcards. So direct mail is one way that we do that. We have a national company that we work with that provides them with permit reports and shows them where remodels and new construction are going on in their territory. And then we work with them also here internally to help them target the builders that are on those permit reports and also the homeowners. Because they're active customers. They're most likely going to be contacting someone to do window treatments inside or outside the home.
The targeting those permits, smart idea. I like that.
What about, yeah, I was just taking notes. That was great. I didn't think of it that way. So I wanted to make sure I remembered next time we talk to somebody. So tell us about the investment. I know it's pretty low, but there's kind of a range there. Give us a little idea of how that works.
Yeah, so because it's a home-based business and because you're likely in the beginning going to lease a warehouse, the startup costs are really low. And so you can start up for under 100,000. That's very reasonable. I don't really recommend anybody go to the high end. I mean, we do have a range that we have in there just in case someone wants to build out a showroom and they want to, maybe they're in a territory where a showroom makes sense because it's going to gain them more exposure and they feel like they're going to do more revenue quicker having a showroom. So we do, you can go to a high range if you want to, but you can be all in for under 100,000. And we expect most territories, based on our experience over the past 25 years, most territories are going to be up and running pretty quick just because the demand is already there. And so they're filling a demand that's in the market that's not currently being met. Most people are buying the products that we sell on the exterior side. Most people are buying those products either online from an internet company or they're buying them through a distributor like a lumberyard, and they're not having anybody measure and install. And they tell us they're willing to pay more to have somebody that's responsible for it that's going to measure and install. So it's easy to go into a business where the demand's there and the competition's low. But on locations that do say $500,000, you can expect gross profit to be anywhere from 35 to 40%. And since your overhead's low, it's fairly easy to make your investment back.
So talk to us a little bit about lead time. So when a franchise owner goes out, does the measuring, secures the order, then they place the order, I guess, with the distributor, right? Or the manufacturer. How long does it take for them to get the product to then turn around and install it?
So we have software that we use that we wrote when we decided to franchise 5 years ago. And it makes it very easy for them to quote and also to place their orders with the factory. The nice thing about this business as well is that it's a standard to collect a 50% deposit. So when you sell a job, you collect a 50% deposit. You place the order with the facility that makes that particular product. And then the lead times are anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. It varies from factory to factory and product to product. And it also varies different times of the year based on how busy they are. A good example would be storm products. Storm products are going to have a longer lead time in the summer or late summer than they're going to have in the winter or, the early spring. So you discuss that with the homeowner, tell them so they have the expectation it's going to be, say, 4 to 6 weeks. So you're holding that 50% deposit for 4 to 6 weeks, and then the product ships to your warehouse. You line up installation, whether you install it yourself and just pocket the revenue from that, or whether you sub that out to a contractor who's going to do the installation, and you just manage it and collect a management fee on it. Once the product's installed, you have a month. Once you receive the product, I should say, once you receive it, you have 30 days to pay the remaining balance. Once it's installed, you're going to collect your remaining balance. So it's a business that creates cash flow. And so, right at the beginning, when you sell a job, you're creating cash flow for your business.
I like that.
I like that. So you're not out anything, you get your deposit. It's pretty much covering most of your costs. And then the rest
Correct.
is profit. I love that.
Correct. Yeah, there's nothing you have to inventory in those initial costs. Are included samples. Most of the suppliers that we work with provide free samples. Some of them do charge for their samples, but that's all included in the under 100K. So you would have all of your samples, and that's really the only thing that you have to buy. Other than you need a forklift. You need a forklift because some of the pallets with exterior products are pretty heavy. So it's helpful to have a used forklift. You don't need anything that's brand new. You don't have to go crazy. And we've got that figured in as well with the startup cost.
Okay.
Right. How big are the territories?
Well, the initial territories for initial investors are bigger than what they will be, obviously, as we grow. We're looking at adding probably 12 locations this year, and so that'll bring us to 16 locations for this year. Right now, we're given bigger territories, but the territory that's described in our FDD is 75,000 households, and you have the ability to purchase up to 25,000 more when you buy your territory. So that gives you 100,000 households.
Okay. And so is that going to change in your next FDD?
No, we don't have any plans. We did change it in this past. We changed it from 2023 to 2024. We increased the size of the territory.
Okay. I gotcha.
We did
Okay.
not decrease it. However, some of our initial territories, some of our initial territories, we feel they needed to be bigger. So that's why we increased it, just to give them more opportunity for sales. The other thing that I would mention too is I think if you were looking at this as just an interior business, which we're not just an interior business, we do have interior, but I think those territories for an interior franchise are around 40,000. So we're almost twice that. But we focus on exterior first, even though we do have the interior products as well.
Okay.
And who are you looking for as an owner? What is your perfect avatar look like?
I think anybody who is task oriented, because we're going to give them task and we're going to give them a guideline kind of to follow to be successful. And so somebody that has the ability to stay on task. We need somebody who's self-motivated, somebody who's a good communicator, because you are going to build a network and you are going to be communicating with people and even giving presentations at times. So someone who's comfortable in that type of environment. Somebody who has either run a business or maybe been in some sort of management position would be helpful. But what we're seeing in the initial adopters is we're seeing a wide range. So, we have one guy who was a finance guy. We have one guy who was a project manager. We have one guy who was in the industry for 30 years. And then we have another guy who was into remodeling. So if you have a construction background, this is going to be an easy fit, and you're even going to see the value because it's not there in the market. You know how hard it is to find this product. And so if you're in the construction business, you're going to know that. But we have someone who's coming on board in the process right now who has an IT background like I did. I was a computer nerd. I was an IT guy. That's what I was. I went from IT and software development and being an IT manager for a financial institution to being into shutters, interior and exterior shutters. So I didn't have any background in construction, and I'm not even good at building anything. So anybody who's willing to learn, we're willing to talk to.
Sounds like a natural career progression from IT
Oh,
to
it was great. It was great. On the way out, everybody was giving me tape measures and making fun of me. So it was awesome.
That's awesome. What have we not covered? So we've covered the investment, the territory, the royalties are super low. Um, what are we missing? What is something else that you would like to put out there?
Well, I would just say based on current trends and where we're trending right now today, while we're talking, there's a good chance that we're going to have to close the gate pretty soon, because what we don't want to do is add 30 to 35 franchises in 1 year and not be able to support them.
Yeah.
Since we are an emerging brand, we're well aware of the infrastructure that we need to support anybody that comes on board. And with what we're looking at right now and potential territories that we have in the works right now, at some point we're probably going to have to pull back just for a minute and make sure we can support what we have. I mean, that's just the reality of it. So it's a good problem to have, but that's kind of where we find ourselves right now.
Good for you.
Music to my ears.
Yeah, good for you guys. That is responsible franchising at its finest, and other brands should certainly follow suit. When you're an emerging brand, you've got to make sure those first franchise owners get off the ground successfully, and so it's great to know that that's what you guys are focused on.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks again for the time today. Learned some new things. And again, for those of you watching, if you'd like to see if your market's available, feel free to click the link below. We'll get you some additional information, talk through some next steps. And I guess that's it. Thanks, Ed. Really appreciate it.
Thank you all very much.
Talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. Listen, click the link below. We're here to help if you have any questions. We're not going to bug you. We're not crazy. We're very friendly people, and we just want to help.
Well, at least one of us are.
Hey, we're here to help.